Today we are reading The Fisherman and the Kaha Bird. This story is a folk tale. Folk tales are fiction stories that come from cultures long ago. You can easily identify folk tales because oftentimes they have talking animals um, and they usually teach a lesson. Our essential question are what are some of the messages in animal stories? Okay, let's start reading. Long ago, there lived an old fisherman who made his pitiful living catching fish. All day, the old man sat on the riverbank waiting for the fish to bite, but he never had more than one or two small fish to sell at the market. He and his wife were always hungry. Let's go ahead and stop at that paragraph right there and talk about a vocab word. It is not highlighted, but the word pitiful is one I want to talk about. So let's reread the sentence. Long ago, there lived an old fisherman who made his pitiful living catching fish. So there are some other sentences in this text that help us understand what the word pitiful means. See if you can go ahead and find what other sentence in this paragraph helps us understand the word pitiful. Great. Let's go ahead and check your work. The other sentence is he and his wife were always hungry. So that tells me that his pitiful living means that he was poor or he didn't make very much money. Let's keep reading. One morning, the tired old fisherman trudged slowly to the river. Suddenly, a great bird with bright, dazzling silver feathers settled in the tree above him. The delighted fisherman knew that this was the magnificent Kaha, a glittering bird that occasionally appeared to help the poor or sick. Let's go ahead and let's talk about our two vocab words here. We have the word trudged or the word dazzling. The word trudged means walking steadily or slowly. The word dazzling we can find out from information in the text. What words in the text help you understand what the word dazzling means? Okay, some of the words in the text that could help us understand dazzling are bright, silver, and glittering. So dazzling is something that's so bright that it's nearly blinding. I see you work for very little reward, the Kaha said. I wish to help. Every day I will bring a large fish to your house that you can sell at the market. The old man couldn't believe his luck. As the days passed, the honest Kaha kept her promise. The fisherman sold the fish and came home with plenty of food. Soon he was bringing home clothing made from brightly colored silk fabric for his wife. At the market one day, the Shah's crier made an announcement. Find the great Kaha for our eminent Shah and receive a reward of 50 bags of gold. Okay, let's go ahead and stop here and talk about the word honest. Um, Honest means that you are truthful, fair, and trustworthy. That's an important attribute of our Kaha bird. Being honest means that they always keep their promises, and that's something that it says in the text. The second vocabulary word in this paragraph is fabric. So, fabric is what our clothes are made out of. It's usually woven or knitted, and it's a type of cloth. Okay, in the last paragraph on this page, it announces our big problem in the story. So, we already know that our fisherman is poor, and it seems pretty amazing that the Kaha bird chose him to be the person that he would help. But then we find out that the Shah's crier made an announcement. Find the great Kaha for our eminent Shah and receive a reward of 50 bags of gold. The fisherman thought, if I had 50 bags of gold, I would be rich. But how could I betray the bird? He argued with himself until finally his greed for the gold blinded him to his generosity of the Kaha bird. Okay, let's go back and look at the word greed. The word greed means having a very great or selfish desire. So in this case, the fisherman really desired gold, and that made him greedy. He told the Shah's crier about the Kaha and requested assistance in catching her. He asked for 400 men to help him. That evening, 400 servants followed the fisherman home. They hid among the trees as the fisherman set out to feast to tempt the bird. When the Kaha landed in the tree, the old man said, "Come and dine with me, dear friend. I wish to express my gratitude." The Kaha, touched by the fisherman's kindness and attracted to the delicious meal, flew down to join him. Immediately, the fisherman grabbed the Kaha by the feet and cried out to the servants to help him. The startled Kaha spread her wings. She began to fly up with the fisherman pulling at her. A servant caught the fisherman by the feet, but the bird rose higher. A second and third servant grabbed onto the first until soon 400 servants hung by one another's feet as the Kaha soared upward. Let's go ahead and stop about and talk about the word soared. So, to soar means to fly upwards, very high in the air. Okay, let's see how the story ends. Looking down, the fisherman could just barely see the river below. If he hadn't betrayed the Kaha, he would not be in this predicament, but there was one thing to do. The fisherman let go of the great bird's feet. The servants and the fisherman tumbled from the sky and landed in the river. It was many weeks before the fisherman had healed enough to fish again. Every day the old fisherman looked up at the sky for the sign of the beautiful silver bird, but the Kaha was never to be seen again. And that is the end of our story today.